Thanks for joining us tonight for Fox 40 News at 6:30. I'm Nikki Lorenzo. Former state lawmaker Dr. Richard Pan has already announced his candidacy, but another Democrat has thrown her hat into the ring. Here she is, Lauren Babb Tomlinson, the chief of public affairs at Planned Parenthood Marmonte, launching her campaign for the District 6 seat. In her campaign launch video, she says she will fight for working families, adding that Washington needs a new generation of leaders. Among the major issues, she's focused on lowering costs, providing greater access to health care and public safety. And Lauren Babb Tomlinson joining us now here live on Fox 40. Thanks so much for being here this evening.
Thanks, Nikki. Thanks for having me.
Appreciate it. Okay, so first we articulated some of your why, some of the issues. But again, why get into politics, especially considering the climate right now in Washington, D.C.? Why do it?
Absolutely. Well, I think my why is my 10-month-old son. After having him, I just realized how hard it is to raise a family in Sacramento, and working at Planned Parenthood and working on a lot of elections here in Sacramento, I know what it takes to get the job done, and I'm ready to fight for families like I'd fight for my own. Okay,
so you talked about kind of being politics adjacent, working for Planned Parenthood, working on elections, also working in the labor field, labor organizing as well. So first-time politician, though, first time running for office, correct?
That's correct.
Okay, so for someone watching at home saying, okay, first-time politician, there is already somebody in this race, another Democrat, Dr. Richard Pan, who's spent a lot of time in politics here in Sacramento. Why should voters pick you and not someone with legislative experience already?
Sure thing. I mean, I'm not a career politician. I'm a mom, and I'm a hardworking mom, and I've been on the front lines fighting for health care. At Planned Parenthood, when Trump signed that bill, 5 of my health centers closed overnight, and it was absolutely devastating. 22,000 patients lost their health care, and I was fed up. And so now I'm running for Congress so that never happens again, because working people deserve better.
Okay, so you talk about a new generation, too. I don't want to out your age if you're not. Some people, but in your early 30s. So you talk about having a new generation of leaders. So when you go to Washington, if you go to Washington, and voters send you there, in terms of leadership, is it time for the old guard to go?
I think what it's time to do is make it work for the American people. We need affordability. I mean, my daycare and mortgage are the same amount, and I know so many people in the district are feeling the squeeze. It's about to be the holidays, groceries are high, and so I know what my family's facing, and so I want to get to Washington and make sure that we're focused on affordability and expanding access to health care, and I'll work with anybody to get that done.
Okay, so you brought up 2 things that I want to drill down here. So affordability, that is something that comes up constantly, whether you're running for Congress, running for statewide office, here in California, or local office. And politicians and leaders have struggled to tackle that. So give me something specific you would do, because everybody says, I want to bring down prices, I want to make things more affordable. But once they get elected, they realize it's tough to do, and it sort of gets lost in the shuffle of being an elected official.
That's right. I mean, I think for me, it's really listening to the district and hearing what they care about. And one thing I do know that I feel in my own family is Trump's tariffs are affecting people's ability to live well. I mean, it's about to be Thanksgiving, and we don't even know if people are going to have food on the table because of just costs rising. So with my own experience, knowing how hard it is to raise a family here, I want to go to Washington and figure out how we are going to lower costs. As a former labor organizer, we need to focus on job creation to allow more prosperity in the districts. And I just want to listen to people and really understand what they want me to focus on. I mean, I know I am a mom, so childcare is really important to me, and really focusing on parental leave as well.
So a specific plan, anything specific that you have right now that you could share?
As a non-career politician, I want to hear from the folks in the district about what they think makes sense, but we're going to focus on the economy, and I'm going to be their voice.
Okay, so you mentioned working in labor. You are not a career politician. Don't have experience there, so you're new in that sense, but labor wields a lot of power and a lot of influence, and if you have the backing of labor in California, you're pretty successful. So does that mean you're the labor candidate?
I hope to. I got to earn the support of all labor unions, but my first job out of college was working for a labor union and fighting for working people. And that's the same thing. I'd take that same mentality to Congress. So I welcome those conversations with my labor partners and hope to earn their support.
But does that mean labor gets a rubber stamp if you go to Washington?
I think I have to make sure that I am being pragmatic with all groups, right? And having dialogue and conversation about those things. So to me, it all starts with listening and learning. And that's what I want to do as a first-time candidate and in Washington.
A lot's been happening in Washington, and I say that a lot's been happening and then a lot hasn't been happening because the government was shut down. And as you watch that from afar, if you were in Congress right now representing this newly drawn district, how would you have voted in terms of the shutdown?
I probably would not have voted the same way that the outcome was, and that's because with my healthcare background, I've seen how devastating it is when the healthcare gets cut, and so I know we need to really hold the line on healthcare. At the same time, I recognize that federal workers need to get paid and people need to be safe on flights. And these are things that need to be happening. So the government has to be open to meet the needs of the everyday families, but we also need to be really laser clear about the goal. And the goal is to protect healthcare for working families.
Okay, so there has been some puzzle pieces moving now that Prop 50 has passed. And I have interviewed a couple of folks who have come on with me and said, I'm staying in said district. I'm not, despite what happens with Prop 50. So are you committed to running in District 6? Is this where you're going to stay?
I'm going to stay in District 6.
Okay.
And, I think it's a beautiful community of people. So that's my goal, is to win the votes of the people in District 6.
And again, top 2 primary here in the state of California. One Democrat already announced, likely more are going to jump in. What sets you apart?
I think what sets me apart is I'm a fighter. I've been on the front lines of these healthcare fights. I've been fighting for workers, and I'm not a career politician. And I want to go to Washington as a new generational leader and listening to those in my community so that I can be the best representative for them. And
one more question for you before we wrap up here. If you're elected, and we don't know in terms of control of power, but working with the Trump administration, how would you do that? I can work with anyone. I think we have to find common ground that works for the people in the district, and I really want to do that by being a listener. And I think that if there's some way to find consensus, I will do that on day one. All right, we appreciate you coming in here. Congratulations on the campaign launch. Stay safe out on the campaign trail as things start to ramp up before the June primary. It'll be here before we know it. Lauren Babb Tomlinson, thank you so much. Awesome. Thank you, Nikki.